Hey everybody, I'm back. Sorry for the long hiatus. First of all, we're up on Sonoma Mountain, and I've had problems with my computer. I actually did record a couple of videos about how I met Teresa. I thought they were pretty funny, but there was this crackling noise, and you've heard it on a couple others. Couldn't figure out what that happened. I hope it's not on this one. So I'm going to publish this one, even if it's got some noise. I apologize. Maybe we can figure it out later. But I am going to make this one short. And I got to, again, remind you, one of the main themes I've been on is all the great people that I've met. Well, I had an over hour-long conversation with Frank Gambale just an hour ago or so, calling from Spain. And he had seen the video with his brother Nunzio. And he hadn't seen it before, and so he just called at any rate. What a pal, what a fine, fine musician. I mean, they don't get any better, and down to earth, fabulous. Well, after all the LA nonsense, he moved to Spain with his family and doing terrific there. And of course, there is a long tradition of American, especially American jazz musicians, finding much more welcome in Europe than they do in their own home country and even in New York City. So, and a guy like Frank, he has international reach in any case. Well, as did Dexter Gordon, Phil Wood, so many of those guys. But they actually were able to make a living in Europe. Well, Frank's doing better than that. So, love you, Frank. And what a great deal here. Okay, in keeping with this short, I'm going to ramble about a couple of things. Let's talk one of the great racing stories, just because it's so improbable. First to last, to first to last, to first in one race. How do you do that? That's what I'm going to tell you. It was at the Great Charity Challenge annual event at Sears Point here, our track, and it was with the Brabham BT29. By the way, here's a photo of what it looks like going into turn 2 in these cars. You can see that it's a veritable traffic jam with everybody scrambling, and this is that famous turn off camber at the top of the crest of a hill and so forth and so on. That's me, number 148, Team Stupid in the lead. Okay, so the first on this race was winning the qualifying race. Yep, qualifying race on Saturday. So that puts you on the pole for the Sunday trophy race, right? Wrong. After 24 years of that being the case, this particular Sunday, they said, oh, no, you didn't show up for the morning warm-up. Huh? I didn't need to warm up. So we're gridding you last. Okay, well, that's the first last. Who cares? It's just for fun. At any rate, had a great run and worked my way through the pack. And here's what I'm thinking. The next race from the checkered flag to the next race, green flag, is only 5 minutes. So I got to do the cool down lap and get the car and switch cars. So the only way I can do that to get into the Chevron, which you've seen, here's what the Chevron looks like in a pack of race cars. It's me and that blue one there right on the front with my pal. See, isn't that a pretty sight, man? I mean, those are beautiful cars. Okay, the only way is to have that Chevron down there ready in the hot pit lane, on the grid. And again, it was gridded last because I didn't show up. No worries. Hey, this is just amateur racing. Nobody cares. So I worked my way all the way through the pack from last to first. And I'm coming around and I see the starter waving the white flag. That means this is the last lap. And I thought, hey, cool, Team Stupid. That's what we call ourselves because it keeps us humble, and it's often true. And there's no more true than right now, because he waves that white flag and I go, hey, cool, we came out first. This is great. And so I will go around the track and take the track exit. And I'm driving through the hot pit lanes, concentrating on getting up to where the Chevron is. And as I go back past the starter stand, of course, he's facing the track, and I'm off the track on the hot pit road, and I see him reach down for the checkered flag, and I go, oh, geez, I turned off the track right before taking the checkered flag. Okay, so that makes me last. So I've gone from first to last to first to last, right? I'm losing track of how many times, and it doesn't really matter. But so I'm last because I'm not on the track at all when he throws the checkered flag. I'm in the hot pit lane. At any rate, I'm thinking, laughing at myself in the helmet. Yeah, that's too stupid, all right. You fucking won the race and pulled off 100 yards before taking the checkered flag. Who cares? So I hop into the Chevron, start last, work my way all the way up to second on that before we ran out of time. It was a really fun, great race. Great guys, great race. And so we're all, after that race, it's the end of the day, and everybody's standing around talking about what a great time we all had. And this guy wanders over to congratulate us. He runs into my good buddy, the mechanician, Thomas Burden, and he's saying, hey, congratulations, you guys came first with that Brabham in the open wheel race. And Thomas goes, no, we didn't. My clueless driver pulled off the track before he even got to the checkered flag, man. So we got a DNF, a did not finish. That's the only thing worse than coming in last, especially from a mechanic's point of view. Well, what do you mean, you didn't finish? And the guy says, no, I got the computer readout right here. You guys came in first. So we're trying to figure that out. And finally somebody says, well, you know what? When you were driving through the hot pit lanes, you were far enough ahead of whoever was in second place and the whole raging pack that you triggered the computer sensing line because it runs right through the hot pits for the NASCAR and the Indy guys who do have pit stops. We don't have pit stops because the races are too short. So let me see. First to last to first to last to first in one race. And Team Stupid, man. I mean, you can't get a better illustration of Team freaking Stupid than something like that. Okay, so I'm going to stop right now because this has been fun. I look forward to hanging out with you guys again now that I'm here. I'm still having trouble with a computer. I tried to set it up differently so that you could see a little bit more. That didn't work, but here it did kind of work. Best wishes to you all. Thank you very much. See you soon again. Take care.